Hey friends, welcome back to the channel where we talk real money, no fluff, no fake hustle. If you've ever looked at your paycheck after a raise or a side gig finally paying off and thought, wait, why do I still feel exactly the same? Then pull up a chair, because today is going to hurt a little and then set you free. I'm talking about that weird emptiness that hits right after you finally hit a number you used to dream about. You double your income from 40 to 80, from 60 to 120, and instead of breathing easier, the relief lasts maybe a weekend. Then the new baseline kicks in. Bills feel bigger, wants feel bigger, everything scales up, and you're back to the same stress, same late-night scroll wondering where the money went. If that sentence just punched you in the chest, you're not broken, you're human, and you're not alone. Millions of people climb the ladder only to find the view is the same treadmill with shinier shoes. Today, we're whiteboarding the happiness black hole. Why more money stops buying more happiness faster than you think. Why doubling your salary can feel like nothing. And how the brain's wiring plus modern life turn every win into the new normal. Stick around for the full 20 minutes. We're going deep, but by the end you'll have tools to stop the spiral. Let's start by sitting in the feeling together, because ignoring it only makes it louder. Lean in for a second. Remember the first time you got a real raise? Maybe it was after years of scraping by. You opened the pay stub, saw the extra zeros, and for a minute, the world felt lighter. You pictured vacations, nicer dinners, breathing room. Then a month later the landlord raises rent because the market, your car needs new brakes. Friends invite you to that new spot with $18 cocktails, and suddenly the extra cash is spoken for before it lands. Or worse, you upgrade the apartment, lease the better car, start buying the brands you used to window shop, and the bank balance looks healthier, but the anxiety never left. It's like the finish line keeps moving. That's not failure, that's biology meeting capitalism. I've heard from so many of you in the comments and emails. I make twice what I did 5 years ago, and I'm more stressed than ever. Same, I've lived it. The guilt is brutal. You feel ungrateful, spoiled, like you should be happier. Stop. You're not ungrateful. You're experiencing one of the most predictable, well-studied phenomena in behavioral economics. We're about to draw it out so you can see it's not your character, it's wiring. Grab that marker with me. We're sketching the trap first so we can map the exit later. Picture your younger self setting that income goal. If I just hit X, I'll be set. You hit X, the high lasts days, maybe weeks, then adaptation creeps in. The new salary becomes baseline. What felt luxurious becomes ordinary. The nicer gym, the better neighborhood, the upgraded phone, they all slide into normal so fast you barely notice. Now you need X plus 20% to feel the same rush again. It's exhausting. And it's everywhere. Lottery winners, pro athletes, tech workers after stock pops, most report happiness levels returning to pre-windfall baselines within a year or two. If you're nodding right now, know this. The feeling isn't proof you're chasing the wrong things. It's proof the happiness engine has a governor on it. We're going to whiteboard exactly how that governor works, why it's so ruthless, and why society keeps selling you the lie that more will fix it. You deserve to feel seen before we get clinical. You're not chasing shadows because you're shallow. You're human in a world engineered to keep the treadmill spinning. Let's turn the lights on. All right, whiteboard time, let's get precise. Wipe it clean. We're drawing the core concept, hedonic adaptation, sometimes called the hedonic treadmill. At the top right, happiness set point. Psychologists say about 50% of your baseline happiness is genetic. You're born with a rough range. Then life events bump you up or down temporarily, but you tend to drift back toward that set point over time. The other big chunk? Circumstances, including income. But here's the killer math. The happiness boost from money follows a logarithmic curve, not a straight line. Sketch an XY graph. X-axis, income. Y-axis, reported life satisfaction. The line starts steep, going from $20,000 to $40,000 a year, moves the needle a lot. 40 to 80? Still decent jump, 80 to 160, smaller jump. 160 to 320, barely visible. Diminishing returns hit hard and fast. Studies like the famous 2010 Princeton one pegged the emotional well-being plateau around $75,000 a year in the U.S., adjusted today closer to $100,000 depending on city. After that, more money buys status and comfort, but not day-to-day joy. Now zoom in on adaptation speed. Whiteboard a timeline. Day 0, big raise lands. Happiness spikes plus 30 points, arbitrary scale for illustration. Week 1, still up plus 25. Month 3, plus 15. Year 1, back to plus 2 or plus 3 above baseline, sometimes 0. Why so quick? Your brain is built for survival, not permanent bliss. It notices change good or bad, then normalizes it so you stay alert for new threats or opportunities. That new house? First month you walk in and smile. 6th month it's just home. The upgraded vacation? Amazing photos, then it's memory, not ongoing euphoria. Draw arrows looping back to baseline. Raise gives spike gives adaptation. Gives new baseline gives need bigger spike. That's the black hole. Doubling income feels like nothing because your reference point doubled too. Relative income matters more than absolute. If everyone around you upgrades at the same time neighbors get Teslas, co-workers flash new watches, your brain registers I'm falling behind, even when your absolute life improved. Let's run numbers on a real viewer story. Mike emailed last month, made $60,000, miserable, landed $120. First year felt rich, new apartment, travel. Year 2, rent doubled in his city, friends' lifestyles inflated, he upgraded car and tech. Happiness survey he took himself. Almost identical to when he was at 60. The math shows why. Lifestyle inflation ate 70 to 90% of the raise in most middle to upper cases. Compound that over a decade and the hedonic treadmill has you running full speed just to feel neutral. Erase half the board. New equation. Perceived happiness gain equals income increase times 1. Adaptation rate, social comparison drag. Adaptation rate, often 70 to 90% within 1 to 2 years. Social comparison drag, another 20 to 40% in high visibility cultures. Net gain after doubling, often single digits. That's not opinion. It's replicated data from longitudinal studies across countries. You're not imagining the emptiness. The numbers prove it's built in. Okay, we've got the brain science. Now let's whiteboard why this isn't just biology, it's a feature of the system. Draw a big circle labeled Modern Consumer Economy. Inside, arrows pointing outward to 4 pressure points. 1. Advertising. Trillions spent annually training your brain that happiness equals next purchase. Every ad says the old version of you is inadequate. The upgraded one will feel alive. 2. Social media. Constant exposure to curated peaks, new homes, trips, cars resets your comparison group from neighbors to global influencers. 3. Wage stagnation plus cost of living creep. Real wages barely budged for decades while housing, education, healthcare skyrocketed. You're forced to chase more income just to hold position, which triggers more adaptation. 4. Status goods inflation. Positional goods, nice car, big house, private school, derive value from scarcity. When more people can afford them, the bar rises. You double income, so does half your peer group, so the enough marker moves again. Connect the dots. The economy grows by selling you upgrades. If hedonic adaptation didn't exist, one nice house and car would satisfy forever bad for GDP. But because it does, companies profit when you feel the old stuff is lacking. Apple releases a new iPhone every year, not because the old one broke, but because your brain has adapted and now perceives last year's model as dated. Same with fashion, cars, kitchens. The system needs perpetual dissatisfaction to keep consumption high. Add debt easy credit cards. Buy dash now dash, pay dash later dash, so you can front run the adaptation and feel the high now, pay the regret later. Whiteboard the loop. Income up gives lifestyle up gives adaptation, gives feel behind gives consume more, gives debt up gives work harder, gives income up. It's self-reinforcing. Politicians and economists cheer GDP growth while ignoring how much of it is just people running faster to feel the same. Empathy check. You didn't design this. You were born into a game where the scoreboard keeps changing mid-match. Blaming yourself for not feeling grateful enough is like blaming a fish for being wet. The water is the problem. Real-world proof. Scandinavian countries with flatter income distribution and stronger social safety nets show much weaker hedonic adaptation to income gains. Why? Less social comparison pressure, less need to signal status through stuff. In the US, the hedonic treadmill spins faster because inequality is higher and visibility is constant. You're not failing at happiness. You're succeeding at a rigged game. As we erase the circle and redraw an escape hatch, remember, seeing the machinery is the first real power move. Final whiteboard section. Hope lives here. Exit isn't stop wanting things. It's hacking the adaptation loop. Step 1. Intentional gratitude calibration. Every quarter, write down 5 things the old you would kill for that you now have. Read it when the emptiness hits. It slows the reset. Step 2. Cap visible consumption. Pick 3 status categories: car, clothes, vacations, and freeze upgrades for 2 to 3 years, even if income rises. Force adaptation to plateau. Step 3. Redirect marginal dollars to non-hedonic wins experiences with low comparison, solo hikes, skill classes, relationships, dinners at home. Time freedom. Negotiate remote days over raises. Data shows experiences adapt slower than objects. Step 4. Change your reference group. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison. Surround yourself with people who value time over stuff. Step 5. Build a meaning buffer. Invest in purpose volunteering, mentoring, creative projects. Purpose happiness is less subject to adaptation than pleasure happiness. Quick tactics. Try a 6-month no upgrade challenge. When tempted, calculate hedonic ROI. Will this really move my baseline long term? Most don't. Track non-monetary wins: weekly energy, sleep, laughter. Those compound without resetting. Long game. Advocate for policies that reduce positional competition, better public goods, wage floors, wealth taxes, so the treadmill slows for everyone. You don't have to wait for the world to change to start. Wrap up. The happiness black hole is real, but it's not destiny. Doubling your income feels like nothing because your brain and the system are both wired to make more than new zero. You're not ungrateful. You're awake. If this video landed, hit like, subscribe, share with someone stuck in the same loop. Comment below. What's one upgrade that felt amazing, then faded? Let's talk it out. You're not alone, and you're already farther ahead just by seeing the trap. Go protect your peace this week. I'll see you in the next one.